What's going on, guys? Satsuki the Savage here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 favorite characters in unOrdinary. Now, I wanted to do this video before unOrdinary came back, alright, at the end of season 1, because I wanted to see if this list would change once we get to the end of season 2. Alright, so that's what this video is here for, and I just want to express, which characters I really fuck with. But enough of that, let's get into the video.
Number 10. Cecil. First, I have Bit News Cecil, all about a Scoot, the arrogant woman that has been dubbed the female Arlo. Not gonna lie, the first quality that grabbed me from Cecil was her appearance, like her distinct eyeliner or her default annoyed face. One thing I really value from Cecil is her resolve. Cecil believes in upholding the integrity of the school paper, refusing to rat out one of her anonymous sources to the stronger Remy. I have to respect the guts of Cecil because she is not afraid to undermine someone like Arlo, even going as far as to try to run him a fade. Lastly, I am of the belief that Cecil has something up her sleeve. She was demoted from her royal position precisely because of her secretive nature, so I suspect the time will eventually come for her to have a bigger role in unOrdinary, especially if she gets John on her side. Number 9. Volken. A pure meathead choice, but you know I had to do it to him. Volken is just a hood nigga. She's dressed in all black. She had the big block diamond earrings. She out just slanging dope in this motherfucker, selling dime bags for a dub. Personality wise, I can't say anything about Volken. She is purely on here because she is a tank. Volken beat Remy's ass, who was a 5.4 level high tier, all while being sniped by Blake. The only other person that has ever took that amount of damage and still moved around fine was John, so Volken is in great company in the strength department. Volken's possible connection to Ember is very intriguing as well, and I know she will show up to beat someone's ass in the future. Number 8. John. Man, oh man, John. I don't even know where to start. Right or wrong, one thing I could praise John on is that he does not discriminate in his fits of rage. Men, women, foes, allies, they are all within range of John's outburst. John being the main character adds on to his greatness as we don't see many MCs like him. John's power level is ridiculous and his actual ability aura manipulation is even more broken. On top of that, take away John's power and he's still a problem, so I gotta give credit to his hands. Of course, lately I find myself on the opposite side of John and he still has no drip, but I had to give him props. Also, shout out to Tuesday because I really respect him. Tuesday is dope, but Joker, he's something different. Number 7. Darren. Dr. Darren, the first aid Kool-Aid merchant. Darren is just a chill side character. He's funny, he's cool, and I can relate to him because he's irritable. Darren's expressions just scream that he does not want to be involved with the fuckery in Wellston, and I cannot blame him. However, Darren is the unsung hero as he's the one responsible for keeping John together in one piece. I also had to point out Darren's game because he pulled one of the baddest holes in unOrdinary, and she's a high tier and she's rich. Number 6. Blake. Blake was one character I wasn't crazy about initially, but he grew on me. Seeing the innocent side of him when he's emulating a Kamehameha made me like him a lot more, as well as the serious side, which highlights his loyalty. Blake may fight with ease in every single day, but he's made it clear that he is a ride or die and a true friend. Blake's character growth was commendable as well. He went from this arrogant kid in his first year of Wellston to a more mature student, even trying to reach out to someone like John. Number 5. Remy. Remy may seem like a perfect character if we're talking about morality, but I like Remy because she's flawed. Remy's naivete is a big part of her character and is something that has been pointed out as a negative through her brother Ray. Remy though, as we can see throughout unOrdinary, is slowly learning and becoming wiser. She now knows what goes on in the low tier districts and she knows about the routine bullying in Wellston, so she is a character that is trending upwards. Aside from that, I adore Remy because she's a sweetheart in a world that discourages kindness. In that sense, she goes against the grain. Add in her heroic antics as X-Ray and her dynamic with Eason and Blake, and you'll see Remy is just a fun character. Number 4. William. One of the few characters with the last name, we had the daddy of John and the father of vigilantes. William has proved to be one of the most, if not the most influential person in the world. As the author of the unOrdinary book, William has the authorities shook to their very core, so much so that they punish those who have read his book. Despite the authorities demonizing William, he is actually an incredibly nice man who loves his son dearly. And just off the fact that he was able to hit it off with Sarah, who is not a very inviting person, speaks volumes to the kindness of William. Probably the most amazing part of William is that he's done what he's done as a cripple, including teaching John how to fight. Overall, William is one of the best characters in unOrdinary, even in his brief time in the story. Number 3. Evie. So just from the name alone, a lot of people aren't going to remember who the fuck Evie is, but she's a character that left a huge impression on me. I find Evie hilarious because she's steadily in awe of the strong people she comes across, like Elaine, Arlo, and Sarah. Now, although Evie is a minor character, I think her interactions with Sarah make her shine bright. Sarah gives Evie the confidence to not be crushed by the hierarchy, while Evie teaches Sarah how to live as a low tier, and considering Sarah's former status, this makes their dynamic all the more interesting. It also helps that Evie is a huge fan of Sarah, because I can definitely understand that. Number 2. Arlo. Recently dethroned King of Wellston, holder of God tier status, nicknamed Aslo, we have the man, Arlo. There is too much I can go over with Arlo, but I'll start with his power. Power as an ability, power as an influence, power as an authority. Arlo has all of this in abundance, and that is why he has such a successful tenure as King of Wellston. People may knock Arlo for his asshole personality, which is fair, but his stern belief in the hierarchy and his enforcement of this belief makes me enjoy his character. Recently, Arlo has been changing his stance and growing as a person, showing me that ass whoopings are sometimes necessary in the grand scheme. Ironically, Arlo has been somewhat the hero of unOrdinary as he tries to stop the mad doll that is John, so that is a surprising but embrace shifting gears. In all of Arlo's problems, I'll certainly take him as king over John, so barrier boys, I stand with y'all. Number 1. Seraphina. From very early on in the series, I knew Sarah was going to be my favorite character, and nothing has changed since then. Sarah started off as a character that was so strong that her disinterest in most things was visible. I rocked with Sarah heavy then because despite her being overpowered, she was just chilling, and I can imagine myself acting the same way in her shoes. However, through the ups and downs of Sarah, why I liked her began to change as well. Sarah has some of the most growth throughout the course of unOrdinary. Starting off as the perfect person, to the bored, whimsical free spirit, to the broken cripple, to the current Sarah now, who is slowly building up her confidence once again. Sarah has a unique perspective being at the very peak of power to falling from grace completely, so she understands two sides of the world, one from the strong and one from the weak. With this new vantage point, I think Sarah might become very much like the hero in the unOrdinary book, assuming she retains her powers. From her indifference to her fashion sense to her growth, I must say that I love Sarah, and we are rolling with Cripple Gang into further notice. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up the video. Let me know your favorite characters in unOrdinary, if you agree with this list, if you vehemently disagree with some of the characters, whatever, let me know. But guys, that is it for the video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage, out.
Am I dying to live, or am I living to die? Living a lie, with my hands stressed out, see I'm stressed